our future house has no privacy, and I love my privacy. We always plan to put it there because it's the highest point of the land and you can see the beautiful countryside the best from up there. But yeah, people from coming down 2 roads have a fantastic view of the house too. When we flattened this area and built this cabin with the caravan next door, I realised it felt quite private here because we're sitting lower down, so the people along that road can't really see us. We're in the middle of the land, so it has a more private feel. But at the same time, I think the view ended up winning. So instead, I'm going to plant lots of privacy trees. My main focus is on the living space, which is the most affected as well by the lack of privacy. I feel confident with these big front windows because the house is tilted a bit and it just views farmland. So I think we're safe there. It's more the western windows which look onto the quiet road, and because we're now higher up, the farmer over the hill can now see our house. So the farmer over the hill is lovely, but I love my privacy. I want to be able to fully relax in my living area and not have to think that someone can see in. One idea is to put a film on this window, like a tint or a mirror. I suspect by that stage though, we're going to be running out of money with this house build and be trying to do it as cheaply as possible. So that might be a year or 2 after the house is completed, because house building is surprisingly expensive. Who knew? I've also planted 3 trees down there to one day be tall enough to give us privacy with patience. And to hide the house from the road, I'm planting like crazy in that corner. Let me show you. So this tree here grows to about, I think, 6 to 8 meters to block the neighbor's house. And it has beautiful autumn colors. We'll see how this one goes. And then this is a Italian elder, which I planted more to protect the bank because it is getting carved out on those super wet days from our stream. Hopefully it's alive. We had a really harsh frost and a lot of my newly planted plants are not doing so well. And this is a sugar maple. One day it will be huge and it will help block the view from the neighbouring farmer. I've learnt that maples are absolutely stunning in this area because we do get that cold snap that creates the beautiful coloured leaves. And I've also learnt that maple leaves are great in the compost, and one day we might be able to tap maple syrup from this. One day. It's got a way to go. And then next to it I have another maple. I think it's called Brandywine. Slightly smaller maple with beautiful, beautiful red leaves. Yeah, I think I'm falling in love with maples. 2 years ago, I planted 2 blue wattles and 2 eucalyptus, thinking that they would become big and bushy and hide us from the road. But instead they've gone tall and spindly, and then this one's taking a lot longer to grow than I thought. Eucalyptus are usually known to be fast growing. So it's kind of a bit of a fail. So this year I am planting lots and lots. First off, I planted 15 native pittosporums around the area, bought from a local grower who grows natives, thinking that they should be able to survive in the slightly harsher environment and they would become big and bushy and great privacy. And then we were hit by a harsh frost. A lot of the locals are saying they were surprised and they've lost plants themselves. Apparently even the water around the roots froze. So I've lost most of these pittosporums. I think if I'm lucky I will have 4 or 5. Most of them, all the leaves just dropped off. So not a great start to this privacy project. And then tree lucernes. I bought 10 of these. We had a frost a week ago, which has affected some of the leaves, but I don't think I've lost any. That should be the last frost of the season. I bought these for quick privacy. They are one of my favourite plants at the moment. I've used them quite a lot on the land because they're, in theory, fast privacy. They're good for animals to feed on as well, and they're great in the compost, and they're nitrogen fixers, so if you cut them, they release good minerals, vitamins and minerals into the soil, I believe. So my theory was that these are the quick privacy growers while the slower natives develop. After all my pittosporums died, I contacted the nursery again and decided on ribbonwoods and Corokios. So these should be really hardy. I should have better luck with these, and I'm planting them pretty close along this stretch and around the corner a bit. Hopefully I will have success with this combination for good privacy. And then along this strip I have planted a combination of Totras and Blackwoods, I think they're called. They'll be a bit slow growing, but they will give privacy to the rest of the land. They aren't looking so happy, so I guess it's just wait and see what happens with them. And I had planted a line of Pittosporum along the back where most of them seem to have died. So I think this area is just wait and see. I might have to give it another go in the future. Then I planted 5 different alders along the bank. They will send down roots to help hold the bank together. Their leaves are great for the compost. They will grow quite tall and help with the privacy, but they're also deciduous, so only great privacy in the warmer months. They've also been hit by the frost, but I'm hopeful that they are coming back because they're used to the colder climates, hopefully. This section along here is a bit tricky because I can't put in bushy plants because Hayden needs to get his lawnmower along this narrow section. So instead, this year I'm just putting down Jerusalem artichokes with possibly a couple of other tall plants like sunflowers. Long term, we will eventually fence this section, but yeah, focus on the house first. Some of them have been struggling a bit, I think from slugs and snails, so I really should put down some bait. Another problem with our privacy is everything on the east side. So that's the back entrance into the laundry, one of the bedroom windows, and if you're on the deck. Anyone driving along our busier road will be able to see us. So I planted 5 purple aki along here and 2 over there. They are small trees. They will give great privacy. Downside is they are frost tender for the first year of their life, and I think most of them have died from that frost. So I'll have to give it another go, get some more in. I also planted a whole lot of flax on the other side of the fence. Again, some of them haven't survived, so I'm learning about a third of what I plant doesn't survive here. Along here are a mixture of Manuka and Corokia. They're super hardy native plants. Unfortunately, Manuka are frost sensitive the first year, so a lot of them were unfortunately hit. But the Corokia are going well, and I'm just going to be patient and watch the Manukas, and any that have died, maybe I'll just buy some more and plant and hope for the best. About 1.5 years ago, I planted a whole lot of limelight pittosporums along here. None of them lived. I think they were too small. I planted them in summer and they weren't locally grown. They were grown in Hawke's Bay, which has a warmer climate. So I learned from that experience. And you can actually see the house from quite far down the road. So I'm trying to put plants along the fence lines here to hopefully block that view. By the gate, I've so far planted a couple of maples, and then I'm thinking some tree lucernes just for that fast growing privacy. I planted 5 golden alders along this fence line to block the road. They were hit bad by the frost. This one's doing okay. One of them, I'm not sure if it's gonna live. There's a tiny green leaf. Maybe. Hopefully. A year ago I planted 3 of these eucalyptus and 2 blackwoods. It's quite a moist area here. The eucalyptus are doing really well, but the blackwoods are struggling a bit. And this is to block the view from our lovely neighbour's house to our house. They have quite a way to grow to get over this mound and stuff, but it will be good privacy one day. So those are all the privacy plants I've done for the house. Fingers crossed in about 5 years we'll have some good privacy.